I think it's good.
All right. Well, you have a lot of opinions that are questionable. So
You didn't like it? You didn't like the promo story of?
No.
You didn't like the story?
this is a podcast. This isn't Glee Club.
It's not Glee Club, but I'm trying to flare up this podcast a little bit.
That's why you have me.
Yeah, that's true. But I want to put some music into it, like some groove, you know.
Yeah, you can put some music into it.
What kind of music?
You know, anything that any kind of previews. You said you have that.
Exactly. That's why I want to start off singing, and then we put in, you know, a song at the end.
Well, what song were you thinking of?
All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, since it's like Christmas coming up.
And Mariah Carey is the one that does that song. Let's leave it to her. Let's not butcher it.
I fucking hate
I'm
him.
pretty sure she just covered that song. I don't even think that's her original song.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, look that up. I don't want a lot for Christmas.
No, I guess it was Mariah Carey.
Yeah. There's just one thing I need. I know. That hurt. It did. It hurt for me too.
So the song was a hit or miss. Well, actually, it wasn't a hit. It was just a big fucking miss. So you got a different idea, kid?
No, it's gone. I don't want it anymore.
We ruined it.
You guys
for
are a
him.
bunch of buzzkill motherfuckers.
We just know what the people want, and I don't think they want a rendition of Mariah Carey when they already have to hear it a lot during this time of the year.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't. I think it's too much. I think that song is overplayed.
You didn't just think that now when you wanted to do an intro surrounded by doing the vocals.
I just thought it would be funny just for a podcast to do it. Like our own version of it, not like a typical not like a typical song, you know.
We all have very choppy voices.
Well,
So
a lot of people have choppy voices, and it's funny.
Okay, maybe to you.
You guys don't think it's funny when Pardon My Take sings their version of
My eye's twitching. Can you see it?
He's twitching because he thinks this is the dumbest conversation ever,
Can you see it?
and he's getting
I feel
really
it.
angry
I
inside.
don't know. Oh wait, are you looking at screens too much? That could be doing
No,
it.
Give
I
it 20
just
years, we'll be able to
twitches
put in
when
a
I'm tired.
cyber.
Is there a deficiency in your diet?
Probably.
Give it 20, 30 years.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. I eat whatever I want. I don't like pay attention.
Are you trying to be Ask Matt or something? The equivalent of that website?
WebMD, you mean?
WebMD? You asking all these questions trying to find the result?
What's Ask Matt? I don't even know what that
I didn't
is.
know what the web. I forgot the name WebMD. I thought it was like Ask Matt or something.
Oh.
But in 20, 30 years, once technology is to a point, we'll probably have cyber optic eyes that you can just replace that left eye with, and you know what? You won't have to deal with that
fine. It
twitching.
was just twitching.
I used to have that. I hate when like shit like twitches in like your body. It's definitely a deficiency. I don't know. I saw like when I first worked out, like I would get twitches all the time in my arms, my legs. It's really weird. But yeah, I would always like to like.
That's because you're pushing muscle.
Is
The twitching when you're like
is
working
that
out
actually
and all,
right? Is that actually correct?
it probably has something to do with your muscle. Your
I think it's just a deficiency. I think it's just like you're not eating your usual foods.
I mean, if I was on a diet of goat cheese and stuff like that, I'd be like, this is a
Grilled
really weird
chicken.
diet. Grilled chicken, goat cheese, and your steamed rice.
Quinoa.
Gross.
Well, has your diet been changing at all? No. Trying to think what eye twitching is.
Though I'm actually excited to get home because I have leftover salmon Caesar salad from last night.
I'm excited to get home too.
Are you looking
Play
at
some
screens
Cyberpunk.
though? At
yeah,
all?
I
Like
mean,
a lot?
at work today when
It's
the
probably
bar
what it
was
is.
empty, I was
probably-
writing a final.
That's the start of a stroke. You got 10 minutes.
Hallelujah.
Left side paralyzed.
God,
So
take me away.
so COVID is really fucking things
You
up
don't
right
even
now.
have an intro to episode 13. You
All
just
right.
say Something like, hey, episode
Well,
13.
Welcome guys to episode 13. We're just gonna wing it with a bunch of topics that we want to talk about. Morgan,
The 2 C's.
you are about to graduate.
Yeah.
When's your last day of school?
December 14th.
Ooh, wait,
Monday.
is that
2 days from now.
2 days from now? Wait, on a Monday, your last day of school?
Yeah, that's when my last finals do. So
Okay, so you're going into finals week right now.
I've been in finals week.
Finals week was last week.
I mean, with COVID going on, they kind of just made it random. Like, so yeah, pretty much last week, most of the stuff was due throughout last week, and then I had a final due last night.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 finals due tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think I have 1 on Monday.
Well, congrats to you again. Your bachelor's in marketing. How's it feel?
Fantastic.
Finally done. It's been a 5-year trip for you to get this all done, and it's finally done.
5 or 5.5 or
5.5,
technically 5.5, but I took a semester off, so
Mhm.
like the amount of time
It
I was
equals out to
actually
5.
the actual time I was in school.
How was
was
Spanish?
5. Wait, I shouldn't say that on here. I learned a lot in Spanish.
Okay.
I'm so bad at Spanish, and I was like, "Fuck, this is gonna like screw over my GPA." Because right now I'm like looking at all A's for this semester.
All right. What do you end up getting? What do you think you're getting in that?
I'm gonna finish with an A, but here's the thing:
Oh.
if we had a final that was the same thing, I probably wouldn't have, because I probably would have gotten around to 70 again. But the professor emailed us and was like, yeah, I mean, I feel bad with COVID cases going back up. I'm sure all of you are stressed out, having a rough time. So now for your final, all you have to do is write me a letter in Spanish talking about what it was like learning Spanish this semester.
It was a waste of fucking time.
What you like, was it tough at learning a new language, stuff like that. So I just have to write a letter in Spanish
You
now.
want to learn a new language? Get Rosetta Stone in your own free time. Don't make us learn a language that's not even basically even connected to what we're going to school for. Waste of time. If you want to go to school for language and teaching, yeah, learn all the Spanish you want. But to make us learn Spanish 1, Spanish 2,
You want to
and
know
to
what?
waste of
make us
time.
pay for it too. That's
when
the thing.
when they always marketed off high school saying,
Yeah,
Like, what was the point of taking it in high school if I was just gonna have to take it again?
I mean,
so you can
Same
spend,
thing with
you
English.
can waste
Same
more
thing
money.
with history. Same thing with like science classes in our
you guys
gen
are
eds.
right. You guys are right.
College is a business.
I know it is.
They're going to
It's
make more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid that we had to do Spanish. It's one of those things that
Like,
you can
and people
just
make the argument
on your
they're
own
like,
time.
Exactly, and people make the argument like, "Oh, we want to make sure you're well-rounded." What was the point of high school then? Because high school was introducing us to science and math and English and history and all that. So why do we have to take it all over again?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's all just to get money.
I just want to reiterate, it's nothing against learn a language. I think learn a language is a great thing to have, especially for a resume, being bilingual. A lot of companies look for something like that, since you can talk to
It should
different
be your
areas of
choice,
people.
though.
But when we're talking for school, first year, I think gen education is bullshit altogether.
Yeah, I think it's a
especially when
waste
you
of
throw
money.
language in there. When
Yeah.
you're, I think in high school they always advertise it. When you go to college, you'll be able to focus on what you're learning.
Your major, and you'll like finally get to like do what you're.
When in
interested
reality,
in.
you're going to a 4-year school to only learn 2 years of actual
I think-
necessity.
See, the way I see it is,
Scott, you keep moving the camera.
Sorry.
I feel like the way I see it is, I feel like it should be like, especially with language, like because being bilingual is really good for your resume. But you know how like you took like a data class and got a certificate in that, and that was like outside of college. Like you just I feel like that's how it should be. Like you should be able to like decide to take a Spanish class if you want to and get a certificate, and or like real estate license. Like you don't get your real estate license in school, even though that would make more sense than taking for a business major than taking a Spanish or other language.
If you're going to go openly into debt, I'd rather go openly into debt learning some useful information I can use for what career path I'm going to choose than regurgitated bullshit.
It really is a lot of like just reiterated a lot of it, because especially with English, history and all that, like it was just learning the same stuff we learned throughout high school.
I took only one history class and it was
I had to take
complete
two.
bullshit.
I had to take two.
Yeah, see,
It was annoying.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why you
so
cheat on your
stupid.
jet eds and don't cheat on the actual good stuff.
Yeah, I feel
I don't
like
cheat at all. I'm a good student.
history's great.
I
and
cheat
all.
and I don't care enough.
Like all these subjects are great and all, but you should really like.
It should be your choice.
Yeah, your choice if you want to learn it. It shouldn't be forced. Shouldn't be required. As you said, it's a business. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. I mean,
I think they could honestly make college 2 years.
even the thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely they can. And like get like a bachelor's.
Yeah.
But it's so dumb because even the shit that you go to school for and you learn and like the classes that actually do matter, sometimes they don't even matter really when you're going into the workforce, and you still have to get like those certificates for the stuff that you learned, but you have that hands-on experience. I really believe that college, like, you kind of get the basics, the basic understanding, but I feel like college is more so just to prove that you're motivated and you're willing to like put in the work and stuff like that, because I don't think a lot of the stuff you learn in college you'll actually end up using in the workforce. I think a lot of it you learn hands-on when you get a job.
I think college is a great scam. I think it's amazing.
I think it used to be amazing.
I think it is eye-openingly amazing that you can fool people into taking 2 years of high school again and pay for it. That is amazing.
Now, do you think, like this just popped up in my head, do you think that that the reason why they're having all this bullshit courses for school is for kids who don't see any point in it to leave school? So like the thing is, a lot of people are getting an education after high school. Yeah. It's like more than it was in the past. Yeah. So do you think that the reason why they're doing all these bullshit courses is to get some of those kids out, and the people that actually do really care and buy into this crap stay in college and actually get that degree, while those who left and don't see it not at all. It's
a business.
But it's a business. I think it could be a strategy.
Why would you want to push out? Why would you want to push out people? Here's what I want to say. Why would you want to push out a specific group of people from then putting more money into your revenue stream?
Because those specific people in the past would not have even gotten a college degree. I think it's just great for them to at least see what college is like and figure out that it's bullshit, so that school still gets their money and those kids don't get degrees, and it helps out the people that actually did get degrees when it comes into the workforce.
I think colleges want to push out as many degrees as they can, having a higher graduation rate, and it makes them look better. But
how does that help us though, if everyone is getting degrees?
It's not about helping us.
It's about making profit.
Business. Yeah, they're a business.
I understand that, but like,
why do people go to college? Because society tells us to.
We're brainwashed at an early age that college is the only way to be successful.
What would your family have said if leaving high school you were like, I decided not to go to college, I want to go right into the workforce?
Honestly, I don't even know, but they're probably like, I would think that they would. Yeah,
I think a lot of people frown upon it, and I think that's a big reason. I don't think. Because to me nowadays it seems like a bachelor's degree is the equivalent to what a high school degree used to be. Mm-hmm. Just because there's so many people doing it now, whereas before getting your bachelor's used to be more unique, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I've met a lot of people in college that did not seem like that, like college was for them at all, but they still buy into it, and then
I don't even think
left.
It's bought
and
into
they didn't even get any degree or anything.
And they just went into debt.
I really don't think it's buying into it. I really think it's just society telling you to, and you not wanting to disappoint people around you or be judged for because I feel like if someone's like, I didn't go to college, I feel like people automatically just have a negative view on them just because of that, or you're like, oh, that kid must be dumb, he must have been one of those scumbags in high school. So I feel like that has even just going to county right after school, I feel like that even that's frowned upon by a lot of people. So I think it's more so the societal
you went to county, you could have been like me and been $100,000 in debt. Loser.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I think college is a scam. I think those gen ed courses are really dumb.
It's part of the scam.
Yeah.
I never didn't enjoy college.
You also get on the job training too. So
I never hated college. Yeah. It was just you knew, especially in those first 2 years, that a lot of that stuff that you were learning you'll never use again. Mm-hmm. Whereas once I got to the second half of my degree, I felt like some of it I'll be able to use, or I was actually at least interested, because it was pretty much all business classes at that point.
At least you were smart enough to go into a degree that actually has some possible routes you can go with it. You didn't go into a degree where, I hate to say it, but degrees like English, sociology, psychology, it's pretty hard to find a job nowadays.
It is.
And at that point, don't you think it's smarter to make a decision? Well, yes, you might be happier with sociology and psychology, and that might be your calling. But at the same time, you might be in massive amounts of debt when it's all said and done and struggling to find a job.
I think it's a big reason the amount of debt kids get themselves into. I think that's a big reason kids our age have, like, I feel like that's why depression rates, suicide rates, and anxiety rates, I feel like that's a big reason all those are so high.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's tough coming out of school and being, like,
like, what's next?
And, like, a lot of kids, like...
And they don't have a job lined up.
Yeah, a lot of kids think they'll find a job right out of school, and it's not the case.
Yeah,
I mean, you have those bills start to come in after, 6 months? Start getting billed when... Yeah.
Well, it's actually easier now because with COVID, everything's, like, frozen. So,
back, yeah.
So, I mean, like, I'm getting lucky with that, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'm already 15% through.
See, but the thing is, too, I also don't think college should be free or anything.
I don't think it should be free either.
I just think people should make better choices. And rather than college being free, maybe keep it as the same amount each year. Or I would like to see it lowered, but not completely free. But, like, rather than going for 4 years, have us go for 2. Then kids are going to finish in a lot lower amounts of debt.
They should do something where you get maybe a sort of like a credit forgiveness, and maybe not the whole amount of your debt, but maybe like you could qualify for some sort of credit program where we'll take like maybe 10, 20, 30% of your debt away from you.
No.
So that, no. Just throwing out ideas.
Because you're the one that agreed to do that. So I don't believe in, like, the government being like, anyone that has school loans, like, oh, we'll pay it off. Like, you don't have to worry about it because you're the one that agreed to do that. You're the one that took the loan out. So, like, there wasn't a gun held to your head. You could have gone to county. You could have gone to a trade school. You could have gone to a cheaper school. So, like, I don't believe that the government should, like, pay for everyone's school. You made that decision.
I think the 4 best majors, and there's more than that, but I think if you really want to succeed going to college, the 4 best majors that I could think of, some sort of engineering, business, finance, accounting, that's all looped into the same. Marketing, and anything...
marketing's in the business.
And anything science.
I think science is
like
really
chemistry, biologist, stuff like that, marine biologist. Those 4, and there's probably a couple others I can't think of top of my head. Those 4, and if you want to throw in doctor or law school, but that's kind of a hit or miss too, because you're going to go in crazy amounts of debt, and you're going to be qualified, but who knows if those positions are even going to be there. I mean, so I would say those 4.
I feel like doctor's a pretty safe one because we'll always need doctors,
and you'll always need lawyers
too. Yeah,
honestly, but if you think about it, I feel like almost like any major is safe because I feel like people who go to school for something, they still don't even go to work for like that same thing. I feel like a lot of people change their work from like their field of study. So like I would go into marketing, but I'm like interested in doing real estate, you know? So like, I didn't need a real estate, degree. I just think that right now, like, it's not even about what you studied. I think it's just that you just got a degree, like you finished school.
How much would that annoy you though? Like if all you end up doing is real estate, and even say you become really good at real estate, would it annoy you that you like could have gotten your real estate license 4 years earlier for a lot less than you spent in college?
No, it doesn't. And I'll tell you why. It's because of my
experience.
Yeah,
it's not worth the amount of money.
I think
that's why people. You're the reason people keep getting fooled to go into college because
I don't think
they put.
I want to go back as long as I say that I want to go back to college. I think that what I spent and what I did going all the way over there was worth it. I think it's worth it.
To be I don't know how much debt you are in, but to be in good amounts of debt just to have an experience that you could have at home going to community college with a good gain of people.
But like the thing is, like I'm very optimistic. Okay. And I know I'll get it paid off, and I feel like if like once I do get it paid off, I have that experience unlike living life without any debt. Knowing that I did not have that
it would have been smarter though if you went a different route because you would have been no debt at all, and if you were in no debt at all, you wouldn't have to worry about paying it off.
You may say it's smarter. You may say it's smarter, but it's also a different lifestyle. It's different life choice too.
The thing is too though, like
as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. Really.
The thing is too though, you could have invested all that money into something else also.
You could. You could. I mean, like, you said like how, like, you know, like to buy a house someday, but I don't see myself doing that for like.
Well, even say like you did.
I have a car.
Say you put a down payment on a house. You don't plan on actually living in the house. You still don't want to live in a house. Say you rented it out. Say you got like this early head start. Mm-hmm. You bought a house that you're renting out, and that gives you another form of income. You could have done that.
Which is good because you're still building equity.
The thing is, too, say you got your real estate license at 18. Like, think about how far into that field you could be by now. You could be, like, living in New York City doing real estate. I mean, that's unlikely because New York City is really tough, but you could have been in any state and getting that same experience, going out to bars some nights and, like... So I feel like that's it.
I mean, there's a lot of things that could be though. Like for me. I
mean, I think you finished in a way better situation than a lot of people.
I think I did too. Yeah. I consider myself lucky and fortunate, but the thing is, like, everything could be. Yeah, I could have, you know, gotten like a real estate license and did like real estate school within 2 years and be
not even
in so
2 years.
much not even 2 years, but
or
like you make
6 months out of
make all this money and then go to New York and party my ass off and things like that. Yeah, my point of that
was like you could have gotten the same experience.
I could have, but like
you didn't have to go to college.
But that's also could have. Versus, I know I had.
Yeah, well, going to colleges, I could have a really good experience. You didn't know that either when you were making the decision to go to college. So at that time, that was could have too.
It was, but it was a choice that I made, and I kind of succeeded in that, to have that experience.
Yeah.
Unlike, I mean, like with like real, I mean, you gotta make.
Real estate's tough.
Yeah, it's tough, and you have to make, you know, money. Like, it's like,
but the thing is, you're willing to move.
It's like the effort. It's the effort of getting there, and like I'm totally down to put in that effort. It's just when it was easier to gain that experience just getting a loan and then going to school. Like, I already know that I'm getting that experience. Yes, I'll pay it off afterwards.
The bank loves you,
and I know that I'll pay it, and I know that I'll pay it off. But I don't like. I thought that I was gonna be double the amount by the end of my college. I'm lucky. I'm fortunate that it was half of what I thought I was gonna be.
But still, even half of what you thought is still more than most people should be willing to take on.
I mean, a lot of people do it though, and a lot of people are happy that they do. I've known a lot of people in New Jersey that did not get in-state tuition at all. They stayed with out-of-state tuition, and they're in mass amounts of debt, but like they're still happy with like what they're doing.
I think there's a bunch of variables there. I think one, what were their parents like? Were their parents wealthy and taking on the debt? Were their parents giving them money? So like obviously that could alter the experience they had. It could. And also, I feel like people tend to like make themselves look great. So I feel like deep down, maybe like behind closed doors, that person's like, fuck.
Yeah, would you really want to...
so much debt. But like, you don't want to make it seem like you made a bad investment. So if someone asks you, you're going to be like, yeah, college was awesome. Well worth it. So I feel like there's also that. You don't know if you're getting the real truth when you ask them.
Could be.
I mean, like that's like if you make a purchase and like you buy a car and it's like a $20,000 brand new car and you're like
you just have like a fat, like you just have that like a happy face on your.
I could see.
Yeah, and like the new car bills each month are stressing you out. The higher car insurance is stressing you out. You maybe they're like you don't like it as much as you did when you were at the dealership, but like you don't want to make it look like when people ask you about it, you don't want to admit you made a bad investment, so you're gonna be like, I fucking love this car.
Not to mention any car. Financing any car is a bad investment because it's depreciating asset.
Really fast. Yeah.
Unless you got some vintage Corvette from the 70s that is an original and you fully kind of fixed up.
Yeah.
Then
I don't know. I'm just saying as long as I am missing Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati, and going to school, because I do miss it right now. I miss going. I would go back in a heartbeat.
Give me some more debt.
What?
You would take on more debt?
No, I would not take on more debt. But I'm just saying those memories are still stuck in my head. Like I wouldn't trade those memories for like anything.
Yeah.
It's like I have those memories. I have those experiences in my head. I know what it was like. I had so much fun, and as long as I miss it, and I still think about college, I'm okay with being in the debt that I'm in.
I feel like that's so tough though, because like when you were in college, you didn't have to worry about that debt. It was kind of like in the back of your mind, you were like, yeah, I have years until I have to worry about that. And now it's gonna come back.
No.
And even now, you're not even worried about too much because of COVID. They keep pushing back when you have to start paying.
It's gonna hit
stuff.
the fan though.
I feel like once you start making a paycheck, like getting your paycheck and like being like, well, here goes $300.
I mean, I already
X amount of years.
I already paid like about 12% of my loan so
how
far.
Long did,
I'm already.
How long did 12%?
That was because of COVID also, though, right?
You
because
were
of the
unemployment
you
checks.
got.
Unemployment checks, but I also have like money from my grandpa as well too, which I'm planning on using. So,
Yeah.
How long did it?
I also worked for that money too. Well, not like the extra 600 in the stimulus check.
How long did it take you to pay off 12%? What was the time frame?
Well, it's not really fair because it was COVID money.
All right, let's.
So like,
not most.
How long? Would
Not
it have taken you?
not all of it, but
a good majority.
A good majority of it.
Yeah, but how long would it, like so?
If you didn't have that, well, how long do you think it would have taken to pay off 12%? 6 months, a year?
Yeah, it'd probably take up to about a year.
Yeah.
So for 12%,
Yeah.
so let's say just for 12%, close to 10% a year, you're looking at about 10 years of having to pay off debt. Come on, man.
No, it's okay, but you got to understand, I'm in the beginning of my career.
Okay.
Well, yeah, like your wage will probably go up.
Yeah, and like I still made payments during.
But the thing is, too,
like while working $15 an hour. That's not a base pay. That's not base salary. I know I'm going to get to that point at some point.
Well, yeah, but your expenses, as your wage goes up, your expenses usually also go up because you're going to end up moving into a nicer place where you're
Utilities,
not sharing a whole house.
Car payments.
Well, yeah.
I don't have car payments.
No.
Not right now.
But eventually you'll probably have to get a new car, and depending on if you buy a used
when you hit
or
26, you're going to have to get health insurance.
Okay.
You might want to, later down the line, you might want to look into other insurances,
Okay.
death benefits,
Yeah.
life
Okay,
insurance.
Well, that's 3 years down the line.
Homeowners
I
insurance.
still have a lot of time to
You also have mortgages.
But that's the point.
Well, mortgage. Okay, but like these are expenses.
These all add up on top of what you have.
I understand that, but you're mentioning all these expenses that I don't plan on having.
Well, you're gonna have some of
You're
them.
gonna have
I'm gonna have some of them, but he's mentioning a lot that I don't even plan on having in 3 years.
You might not plan on it, but things can change.
Yeah, you might not.
Circumstances
A lot of
change.
things- okay, but the thing is, you can argue that things
I
can
feel like
change
that's-
when you're not in debt.
I feel like that's where our mindset is a little
Things-
bit
But
different.
you don't have to worry about
things
situations like that when you're not in
I
debt.
feel like that's where our mindset is a little
We'll
bit
wait until that
different.
comes.
I feel like that's where our mindset is a little bit different because I feel like Scott and I are thinking about the future because we're thinking like, you know what, maybe not right now we have to worry about this, but shit happens. What if any of us randomly got a girl pregnant and had a kid like that, and then you have a kid plus that debt?
But you got to understand
and I get it, that's
those
a could
those are additional decisions that you're making. Those are decisions that you're making.
Yeah, but that's not. I said accidentally.
Accidental pregnancy is not a decision you make.
It's
It's a position.
You had a decision to have sex with that person.
Well, yeah, I agree.
And then they got pregnant, so you have to deal with
you're
the
still having
consequences.
sex with, it's not like you're like, okay, I'm not going to risk
You're not
that. I'm
planning
not
on
making.
doing it.
You're still having sex with girls.
Well, yeah. I mean, but even if I have this loan, even if you don't have the loan, like the debt,
yeah,
like you get a girl pregnant, Now we're both dealing with expense, like added expenses.
Yeah, but the point is that we're making is we didn't see college as a valuable enough thing to put ourselves in that much debt in case all these expenses add up, because then we have like $200 less a month to worry about.
Yeah.
So like,
yours
is more so like, I'll worry about it when I get there.
So I guess what the thing is,
curve.
I guess what you can say is that I valued college more than you guys did.
Well, yeah,
and colleges appreciate people like you.
In terms of college experience,
college love people like you. Just
I'm glad that I had these experiences because I know that I wouldn't had if I if I went to county or something like that,
Yeah,
or like I stayed at home. I don't know.
You might be in a happier situation.
I don't say you didn't go to college at all.
I'm in a happier situation. Say you didn't go to I have my own podcast. I'm doing fine.
Say you didn't go to college at all though, and you went straight to your real estate license. Right now, you could be out in Texas, in Austin, Texas, doing real estate.
There's a lot of couldas. There's a lot of couldas. A lot of couldas.
Yeah. But that's the point we're making.
But the thing is, I could have done all this real estate, but when I'm there doing with all this real estate and not having to go to school, only did it for 1 year. At that point, I would be like, oh well, I could have went to college and made a lot of friends and had these crazy experiences and had these crazy moments and memories and things like that. I could have had all this stuff, but now I'm here in Texas, whatever. Don't have as many friends. I have a real estate license. I'm selling houses.
Think you would have made friends?
You don't know. You don't know. It's also the fact that I could have had a kid right now. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But the thing is, I'm happy with what I did. I'm happy that I had this experience.
No, I get it. But the point that started this whole thing is you went to college for marketing and put yourself in that debt. When you're, as of right now, you're liking the idea of being a real estate agent or doing real estate, which you didn't need college for. Mm-hmm. So in your situation, it might be all right, but I feel in a lot of people's situation, that sucks.
Okay, yeah. So so going back to your question, when that bum you out? In a sense, it would, but not as much as you think, because I was able to have these other things besides college.
Have those experiences.
Yeah. I at least had all these experiences. Yeah. So I think for you, if you were in my shoes, it would be definitely big bummer.
Yeah.
It's not college was not as valuable to me. I have all this debt.
Yeah.
But for me, I see college as valuable, not so because of college, but the thing that was around college and the experience that I had and things like that. And also there were some things in college like the athletics and being right near the football field, being in the top 25 football team. I mean, those are what happens if there wasn't? But I mean, the basketball team was good, but it's you had all these things there. You also was able, and I'm a really big fitness guy. We had the #1 college facility, a recreational facility in the country. That was one thing that really dragged my interest, and I used that every day. It's not like I didn't even use it. And then
so you
I don't know,
basically
college.
For a gym membership too.
I mean, yeah, using
tens of thousands of dollars for a gym membership.
There was a lot, but there's also a lot of other things I just mentioned 4 or 5 other things.
All right. And you used the gym for 4 years, so when I see that, I'm like, could have gone to Gold's Gym or something for significantly less, but instead, tens of thousands of dollars.
But Gold's Gym is nothing like the gym that
I know. Gold's Gym isn't tens of thousands of dollars a year.
Okay, but that's one thing. I mentioned 3-4 other things.
Yeah, all things you can do in certain other aspects that wouldn't put you in astronomical amounts of debt.
Well, that's for you to say. That's not. I mean, I was able to have experiences that you weren't able to have. I was able to do things. I was able to do more things than you were able to do.
In some aspects, yes.
In most aspects.
Like what?
Like what?
I was right. I was next to Cincinnati, like downtown. I was
not a great city.
Really close to Nashville. I was really close to Chicago.
Not a great city.
But Chicago's a great city.
For crime.
The point is,
so
the
these.
Point is,
hold on,
you don't have
but
to
these
go
are
to college.
your perspectives, though.
No, it's a pretty popular perspective.
Have you ever been to Chicago?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and how did you see it?
I was also 14 years old.
Okay, and what did you do?
I followed around my dad. He was at a conference. It's not like I'm going to the hood.
Okay,
or something.
so then you didn't have an experience of crime. You can't say that it's crime.
Yeah, it's Chicago, a crime-ridden city.
It's a crime-ridden city, but that's not the only thing that you can say about Chicago.
That's a big thing you could say about it.
I think the point, though, is you didn't have to go to college to get all those experiences.
If you wanted crime, you could have gone to New York City, man. It's closer to home.
You didn't have to. Yes, but I was able to be in a college where I was able to party a lot, and also
I would party too if I was in that much debt. I would try to forget.
Drink the pain away.
I don't know.
But
I made
You
unforgettable
could have
connections
gone out
there.
to college bars.
It's nothing like Cincinnati though.
You could have gone into New
Scott.
York City. You could have gone into New York City. You could have, like, you say you didn't go into, say you didn't go away to school. You got into real estate and you got a job pretty fast.
Okay.
You would have had more money to do stuff like that, to travel.
So
and you could have traveled to even more places.
Here's also the thing. You guys are saying, oh, well, you're spending all this money, like you're like you have all this debt for school, but you also have to think that going out to a bar and like in New York City.
Yeah, but the point was
you're spending $12 for a drink.
Yeah, but
when you can be spending $3 at a drink in Cincinnati.
Well, you don't have to go to New York City. You could, even if you wanted to go to Cincinnati and do real estate, you could have still. You didn't. I don't know.
Cincinnati is totally different than Montclair State, I agree. Like bar scene in Montclair State.
But you could have moved somewhere with a real estate license and still gone out to those bars and stuff. And then.
Yeah, but
and then on top of that, you're saying like, oh, it would still cost money to do that, but you also would have had a way bigger income coming in.
At that point, like, real estate is just hitting my mind this year.
Yeah,
it didn't hit my mind then. So
well, yeah, but that's why the point was: does it bum you out now that you're at this point, knowing you went away to school?
Yeah, and not as much as you would think.
Okay.
No. God damn, that was a pretty heated subject. That was a good topic.
I think that was the first time I felt like more of the moderator. You and Scott were going.
I think most smooth brains will agree with you, but most level-headed people will agree with us. I'm gonna go to school and party and be $100,000 a debt. Fuck moron.
You're gonna have to take out the part.
I mean, I'm not $100,000 in debt. I'm not even close to that.
I don't care. You're still in debt, man. It doesn't matter.
People get themselves in debt though. Throughout life, you're going to be in debt.
Yeah.
Morgan's going to be in debt.
But I'm not going to start off my 20s with that much debt and then just add on to it.
And that's the other thing too. Like, looking at it from your perspective, you were able to finish with a lot less debt than most people. But yeah. I think in your situation, it isn't as bad. Yeah. But like, think about it from the people that are finishing with 6 figures plus, or like at least 100,000 plus.
Doing the same thing, yeah, I would say that would be, yeah, it's definitely not worth it. I think the amount that I spent is a little bit too much, just a little bit. It's not astronomical. It's not a lot more than I thought. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more than what I wanted to spend. Yeah. And realizing that when I went into college, thinking that I was going to be double, like, that wasn't smart. I can say that was not smart at all. But knowing that I was able to get fortunate my second year and getting Pell Grants and things like that, I think I was able to have that fortune to stay in Cincinnati and continue those experiences.
I feel like that's the main part where we like think differently, because when you were younger and you thought like you were going to be, say, like $150,000 in debt, did you think you were going to be around? How much?
Like 120.
120?
Yeah.
So like you were like, oh, well.
Yeah, I was a dumbass. I was a dumbass in high school. I was in a relationship. I was happy, and like, as long as I was happy, I was okay with having that much debt.
I feel like that's where like we differ, because like when you thought about that, you were like, yeah, I'll worry about that down the line.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm more so the type of person that like plans ahead, and I'm like, I do not want to be in that much debt. What if I don't get a job? What if what if something happens where like that debt is going to pile up and I'm going to have more expenses on top of that, and I'm not going to be able to afford it. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like that's where we differ. I feel like you're like, I'll worry about it when it gets to that point.
Honestly, but the thing is, I feel like if I was going that path, I would have ended Cincinnati much sooner than graduating. Yeah. So
like come back.
Yeah, I would have definitely have came back if I saw that I wasn't getting any money, or if I wasn't getting in-state tuition. I would definitely.
The thing at that point
back.
though, I would have been like, I already like put in like $30,000 to almost $50,000 for my first 2 years. I might as well finish it out, because that at that point you're spending, say like you transferred and came back to Montclair, or like a cheaper school, Keene or William Patterson, then you would be like $100,000 in debt to finish with a bachelor's from those schools rather than a very well known school. So I feel like at that point, once you're already in that much debt, you might as well finish it out and be in the more debt.
I don't know.
Because then it's almost like rather than spending.
Because then I had that experience though, like in the first 2 years, but I really didn't have that experience in the first 2 years.
You and this experience, man, was this the Joe Rogan experience?
Hey, I value experience over money.
I value experience
over
too.
money. I mean,
No, I
mean money. Money's great and all. Money is great. I'm not a materialistic person. I don't care about material.
It's not about materialistic goods. It's about having a mental stability and having emotional stability, knowing that
and I
don't have to worry about all that debt.
No, but that's the thing too. Like I'm the same way. Like I care a lot about the experience more than the money. But my thing is, you could have gotten those experiences or similar experiences or similar enough experiences without going to college.
You could.
That's the way I see it. Like I'm the same way. Like I care a lot about experiences, but like the way I see it is, okay, I could finish school $100,000 in debt, and then end up not really using my degree, or I could have spent that $100,000 on other experiences, traveling the world, doing stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. But
I know we're right.
I was able. But I was able to travel a lot with
travel.
during my time in college. I think I was able to travel a lot more in Cincinnati than I could have in New Jersey, honestly.
Why?
For real.
Like why? What about it?
I don't know, I would probably be going to New York City. I mean, I've been to Maine many times before. Like, I don't know, I went to all these places in high school. I think once I got to college, I needed to explore a little bit more out into the West, because I've already gone to these places while I was in high school. I've already done these things.
Yeah, but you could have still done those things.
Yeah, but it's traveling to places that you have already been to.
No. I'm saying you could have still traveled to those places.
What, like Ohio and Chicago?
Say you got your real estate license right away, and you had a bigger income coming in, no debt, you still could have done those traveling to those places.
I really honestly did not want to travel more than 8 hours to a place.
Well, you could have taken a plane.
See, and taking a plane would be money. You would have to.
Yeah, but the thing
you would also have to.
Yeah, but
you have no stance. You have no stance to complain about money with your experiences. Okay, you have no stance. So you're gonna say, "Oh, the airport costs more." Bullshit.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I'm not gonna believe that
also
stance.
have a bigger income coming in than you did in college.
But those are added expenses, though.
No, yeah, but
you put yourself in a huge expense. So any added expenses.
Yeah, but I don't have to worry about those plane expenses, though.
But the thing
there's a lot of expenses I didn't have to worry about when I was here.
No, but the point I'm making is you have those expenses, but okay, the one, you're at school, so you have $30,000 of expense each year for being in school.
Yeah.
And then traveling, you still spend gas and stuff, so those are expensive, so it's all negative. Whereas if you got your real estate license right away and got a full-time job right away, rather than paying $30,000 a year and automatically starting off at negative $30,000.
Yeah, and then being able to travel.
You were plus $50,000 then.
Yeah.
And then say you spent, like, you would never spend this much on traveling in a year, but say you spent $20,000 of that $50,000 on traveling. Then you're still finishing positive $30,000.
And honestly, it could have been a better route.
Yeah.
It honestly could have. It could have. But it all goes with like could have and things like that. So I don't know. Like.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
You just never know with things. So, at least when I was like, even when I got into all this debt, I still didn't know. You didn't know what? Any path you choose, you don't know what's going to happen. Maybe
change all the time.
Maybe like the thing is, being in Cincinnati and meeting all these people, something good could actually come out of it. Let there be like, I know somebody from those schools. Yeah, and I can go to I can go to work with them in places like Chicago, and places like Cleveland, like places in Nashville. I have a bunch of people in Nashville.
But once again, my point is, I think you can meet people anywhere.
You can meet people anywhere. And you can
met people at any school. Where you got the same opportunities.
Yes, I do agree with you, but I'm just saying that whatever path you take in life, good things can happen, bad things can happen.
Yeah.
There is opportunity for me out in the West.
There's opportunity for everyone.
Exactly. So you can't just go right to the point where it's like you're gonna have all this debt and you're gonna be depressed and you're gonna commit suicide.
I don't think
that's an
things like
extreme.
that.
I'm not saying that.
I don't think you will.
I mean, you're saying a lot about like
yeah, but you're
depression.
putting words
and-
into my mouth
No,
to try to
I
make
said-
it I'm going to the
I
extreme.
said stuff about depression, and it was depression, anxiety, and suicide rates are really high amongst people our age.
Yeah,
right now.
and also
But I
like
don't
it's
think
not.
you personally will experience that. I think it's more so the people that literally finish school with like 150,000, 200,000 in debt. You're not in that same boat, so I don't think you'll have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I think it's more so that small majority or small
Even over
minority of people.
$10,000 of debt is insane to me.
10,000 isn't as bad.
That's
not-
still insane.
It's not bad. You're gonna find yourself in that kind of debt in some point in your life.
I
People get in
understand that.
debt.
So you
like
can't
that.
say that's insane.
People get in debt like
For
that.
school, I would say that's kind of insane.
People get in debt like that
For a choice.
for everything. Like you get
For a
in
choice?
that kind of debt all the time, but I feel like there's certain things where it's like you have a higher opportunity slash
Opportunity
you get a better
cost.
return.
It's all
on
about
that debt.
opportunity cost.
I think it's a better. There's things that give you a better return on that debt. So say you bought a house for $100,000 and you fix it up, and like so you put yourself in $100,000 of debt. But then once you pay it off and it's time to sell and you fixed it up, say you end up spending $150,000 after renovations and stuff, then you can sell that house for $200,000 or $250,000. So like I feel like that has a better return. Or say like you bought a property for $100,000 and then like you're not going to live there forever, but then you end up renting it out, so there's like a return on that also.
Or you skimp out on a really small one-floor house. That way you're not putting so much expenses in that house since it's going to be cheaper, and that way you can put into other things like travel, more fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's going to be a little bit harder.
I was more so just talking about like
Oh no,
debt that I don't mind.
like
'cause there's a
Opportunity
return.
going back to depression and anxiety and things like that. Like yeah,
It's gonna hit
of
you.
course. No, I mean it does. It hits me right now. It like like hits me.
I think in
It-
5-10 years
no,
you
it-
might look
it-
back on your
it
decision
hits-
with a bit of
No,
regret.
not at all. Not at all. Not the life that I lived, not the things that I've seen, and not the things that I have experienced, and also not the way that I have lived as a whole. I wanted to get out of New Jersey. I wanted to leave New Jersey. That was rule number one. I wanted to leave home. I wanted to be independent. I valued my independence. That's something that I valued, and that's something that I put a price on. And what are you looking at?
What time are we at?
48 minutes.
We should probably change the subject.
Okay, yeah. But
Just finish up.
yeah. I'll finish up this thought. But I feel like that if I did not go away to school, I didn't explore, I didn't have that adventure off, and I stayed home. I mean, for like you guys, it's great. Yeah, you guys were okay with it. You guys like that didn't bother you. For me, if I stayed here, it bothers me.
No,
It bothers me even now. It bothers me that I'm here in New Jersey right now.
Doesn't bother me.
Well, see, but
Exactly,
that's
but that's a difference between you.
no,
and me.
yeah, but I see where you're coming from.
You
too,
know what I
but-
mean? Like it's
but
just
am I-
like,
at
but
the
like the
same
thing is,
time-
like depression can hit because you stayed here.
No, I get that.
For you guys, it's not. You see, I don't understand that. I don't understand, but you guys are happy. That's all that matters.
But like when you
I care about my
explain-
happiness.
But when you explained what you just said, like the first thing that popped into my mind was it's back to real estate. Or like you didn't have to go away to school and put yourself in that much debt to get out of your house. You could have gotten a full-time job right away and moved to somewhere else and then found a better job. And
But look at what it took, though. It took me going to college. It took me going into the workforce. It took me learning about things. It took me all these things that I have experienced
to get to that
to
real
get
estate
to that point.
Yeah, I know.
And I would probably not even get to that point if I did all those things.
Yeah, but
in the
now you
past.
would have had something else you wanted to do, and maybe you'd be doing that. You would have gotten to a different point, but
Yeah, and I value all the things that I've done in the past to get to the point that I am in now. I just wish that I was actually in a better point, and like after college, I didn't want to come back here to New Jersey. It's a bummer. But
I'll never understand that. I like New Jersey.
Yeah, like it's just different. It's all different. It's all different mindsets.
I get
we're all different. We all value different things.
And if I was in that boat, I would try and find another way to get out of New Jersey without putting myself in that much debt. That's like what. So like I understand where you're coming from, and that's how my brain would have processed that. I would have been like, no, I'm not putting myself in 100,000 plus debt to get out of New Jersey. I'm going to find another way where I'm profiting off of moving out of New Jersey. If
it wasn't for COVID, I would not have came back here. That was it.
I don't know. I think you probably would have for at least a little bit.
Maybe a year or two.
I don't know.
Because even before COVID, I remember you were looking for a place to move in here after school. But you were already talking to Jason about that.
Little fall.
No.
Well, at least before COVID got really big.
No. That's when COVID hit.
Are you sure?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It wasn't COVID because I remember getting a dog, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna need to get a backyard once I get back to New Jersey.
Yeah.
For that dog to run around.
How much you spend on that dog?
Zero.
Nothing.
Zero?
Well, with like
vet pays and all.
The vet's expensive.
The vet, yeah, it was like
I had to get Wilson
400.
2 vaccines the other day, and it was like 180.
Yeah, so 400.
It's worth it though. I love that dog.
I love my puppuccino.
Definitely more worth it in your situation. You did it the smart way.
Why?
Because you're not in debt.
Oh.
Teach their own. I don't.
Yeah.
I understand.
Right.
I understand your viewpoint. It's just to me, I can't really.
So
grasp
yeah,
it.
okay. So we were just talking about COVID. What do we want to talk about with that? With like sports going on with it, and
a lot of college games are getting canceled. Ohio State's
Really?
game got canceled.
Oh wait, yeah, the Michigan rivalry
yeah.
week. Yeah, heard about that. Yeah, I think I commented somewhere.
And then Ohio State still made it to the Big Ten championship.
Okay.
Some people didn't think they were going to because of that forfeit, but I guess they deserved it.
Yeah.
Scott, you're a big college football fan. You don't like Ohio State at all.
I do not like Ohio State.
Go Buckeyes.
I
feel like they're like the
what they
Cowboys
stand for.
of college.
They are the Cowboys.
I think they're the Cowboys.
They get the most
I see
favorable
them.
treatment.
I see them as the Cowboys of college.
They get their gooch, taint, everything licked on by those announcers. It's just a real good licking. They lick it so freaking clean.
You know what's funny?
If they wanted to eat ass, they should just come out and be like, "We're eating this ass."
You know what's funny? I really see Texas as the Seahawks of college, and I'm a Texas fan.
Yeah.
I see it.
They're always in close games, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
They always have potential, but then just stupid mistakes mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially this season, they had potential to make the playoffs at the beginning of the season.
Comes down to coaching.
I'm sure it does, especially in college. I think
It has nothing to do with their recruiting. It's Texas. They'll always bring in a top 10, at least top 20 recruiting class. Comes down to coaching. Comes down to the
I
coordinators.
agree, and that's the thing. We'll be able to.
They don't got winners at Texas.
We'll be able to pull off these nice games. Oklahoma State was ranked 6th, I think, and Texas beat them this season. But then we lost to what was it? Not BYU.
But here's the thing with
TCU. We lost to fucking TCU. They blow it for themselves every season.
Oklahoma though is kind of a bad.
They were a bad
point.
6 seed, but they were still.
Oklahoma is always a very overrated
It's not
team.
Oklahoma State.
Oh, Oklahoma State. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then in that case, but they're a bit overrated too.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't have been a 6 seed, and I think a big part of that was because I think at that time
Big Ten and the Pac-12 weren't playing.
I think Big Ten wasn't.
That's why
playing
you
yet.
see a lot of those teams that are questionable in the top 25.
But they were still a good team, and Texas was able to beat them.
They have a great quarterback.
Yeah, I think if the Big Ten, Pac-12 were playing at that time, I think they still would have been a top 15 team maybe in the rankings.
Nobody plays big defense in the Big 12.
No, that's the other thing that
Nobody
annoys me.
plays. They have some of the worst secondary play ever.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean,
that's the thing that annoys me too, because a lot of people like explosive offensive games. I love good defense.
Anytime I see them, I just think of the Patriots in their heyday. I mean, the Patriots had decent enough defense when it got to it, but for the most part, it was always their high-scoring offense that kept them in the games. And some crucial turnovers, some good red zone defense.
Yeah, that was their thing. The Patriots
red
had
zone
good
defense.
red zone defense, yeah.
But you could march the ball against them. It's just when you got into the red zone, they had good enough coverages, good enough schemes to kind of disrupt that.
Yeah.
You know what I was searching up this week? Actually, I was searching it up last Sunday.
Why are my legs so small?
Scott,
Yes.
how you doing?
How you doing?
So last Sunday, I want to go to a Green Bay Packers game so badly. They're not letting anybody in the stands. I searched it. They have a legitimate shot to the Super Bowl. I want to be part of it, and they're just not letting anybody in. I miss the whole atmosphere. I want to go back.
Yeah, I miss going to games.
But, like, it's just, I don't know, man.
You know what's cool about me going to MetLife? Every time I go to MetLife, I'm like, this is where the Seahawks won their first Super Bowl. So even though I can't go to to CenturyLink, I'm just like Russell Wilson was on that field.
Won't be able to go to CenturyLink for a long time.
Well, it's not even. I keep forgetting the new name.
Lumen
Field.
I like CenturyLink.
I like
better.
CenturyLink.
It's CenturyLink to me.
It's just, I don't know. It's like I've only been there. I've only been to Green Bay twice, but it's a different atmosphere.
How do you think
like,
not having the fans in the crowd is affecting the game? Do you
That's
think
right.
Do you think that's why there's so many? Like, I feel like this season, like, okay, so for example, Russell Wilson has like 32 touchdowns right now, and his interceptions aren't great, but like everything's fantastic. And I feel like in most seasons, having 32 touchdowns in what week just passed 13? Or is this 13 coming up tomorrow?
Week 4. Oh, yeah. Week 14's coming up right
Week
now.
14's coming up. Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like by week 14, a quarterback that has 32 touchdowns, their odds of winning the MVP are really good.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, for some reason, it seems like this season we have so many, like, quarterbacks that are performing at such a high level, like Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen's having a really good season.
I think it has to do with communication. I mean, when I was in Green Bay, those are 2 games I went to. Sometimes you would see Aaron Rodgers. He would like while he's about to hike the ball, he turns around and he's just like, because like the crowd is wild in Lambeau. Like there is just some strong cheesehead energy going on.
They're hopped up on Parmesan.
It's
They got the
crazy.
cheddar in their veins.
Like the offense basically turns into the defense with when it's the crowd. Everyone gets excited for Aaron Rodgers. They know that something big is going to happen from Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to make a smart ass play. He's gonna work it. No, he does. He does.
He had it in the last 3 seasons. That's a big reason I brought this up too, because the last 3 seasons, Aaron Rodgers
is a playmaker.
No, I agree.
He's a playmaker.
I agree.
I mean, Tom Brady is great and all, but I don't see Tom Brady as a playmaker like Aaron Rodgers.
I would rather take Eli Manning.
Playmaker too.
I would rather take a hot Eli Manning into the playoffs than Aaron Rodgers.
Well, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have. He's not fantastic.
But
when Eli's hot in the playoffs, he's unstoppable.
The thing is about New York fans and Packers fans is that we are more passionate than you guys are.
I don't know. New York fans are very passionate.
No.
We're quick to call our team ass and boo them though.
Yeah, and rip your own goddamn jersey.
You're angry because
I'm
you're
very
so passionate.
angry,
Yeah, but
I think New York is one of the most passionate.
He went to New York
in the wrong ways though. In bad ways.
Well, I think you should always support your team, but I still think they are very, very passionate fans.
I've gone to so many. I remember.
I don't know. Someone. If you go to a game and people yell at you to sit down, I don't know if that's passion, man.
They loved Eli, but I remember back in 2006 they played against Minnesota. We scored the first touchdown before I got into the game, and so many people were screaming, "Fuck Eli! Fuck this Giants team!" Hardcore Giants fans. It's just we show our emotion different. We're pissed off. We're New York, New Jerseyans. We're not, sip the Kool-Aid and be cool with everything.
Scott ripped the authentic NFL jersey that Joe got him when we went to the Seahawks Giants game.
Mm-hmm. I was so angry.
Scott literally ripped it off.
I don't know, man. Being at Green Bay, going back to our point with the empty stadium, Aaron Rodgers sometimes would have to be turn around, tell the crowd to quiet down because he's trying to communicate. It's like as I said, the offense, the defensive crowd turns into the offensive crowd once Aaron Rodgers steps on the field, or just the offense, because we've always had a great offense.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's just I don't know, we just become a defensive crowd when when we're on offense.
I think it's a big reason Aaron Rodgers is having a bounce back year.
Yeah, I mean
he went from not being able to score more than 25 touchdowns in a season the last 3 seasons to being. He's probably going to get 40 this season.
Mm-hmm.
I think that has a big reason.
Yeah, it's all about communication.
You want to hear a hot?
If you have better communication, you're good.
You want to hear a pretty hot take?
What?
Lambeau Field is overrated.
What makes you say that?
I think they need.
If I want to go sit on bleachers, I'd go watch the Tide play.
That's my thing with Lambeau. I get the history behind it, but I feel like they should upgrade it. I guess.
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
That's like Wrigley Field.
You know what would be
that's
cool?
That's like Wrigley Field
Wrigley Field is more historic than Lambeau.
You know what would
Fenway is
really
more
cool?
historic than
if
Lambeau.
they take the what are they called? Why can't the bleachers out? And they have you ever seen when old Yankee Stadium got taken down?
Yeah.
They took the
I think
seats
they
out and sold them. That would be cool. If I was a Packers fan, I'd want a piece of that.
Or what they could do at Fenway is, I don't think they ever had bleachers, but some of the old seats that were really old, they don't take out, and they still have some of them left in the stadium.
But the thing is,
so maybe you take out some bleachers and give those to more VIP, more people that are willing to spend. I would say if you're going to keep the bleacher seats in, make those more expensive tickets. Make it closer to the field. Make it worthwhile to sit on cold-ass metal.
I don't know. I think it's just...
I just feel like it's time to upgrade. I get the history behind it, but every team pretty much upgrades at some point, and I think Lambeau's
I do not agree, because the thing is about their bleacher seatings. One thing that I did realize about going to Lambeau is that everyone is treated like family there. When you're in New York, everyone's pissed off at each other.
Yeah,
people don't.
We're angry. We're not.
You're angry at each other. You guys don't.
We're New Yorkers, baby.
You guys don't treat each other like family.
Fuck the others.
If someone annoys you, you kind of
I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Exactly.
I'm gonna shoot him.
So that's why your seating is more.
You guys are too huffed up on cheddar cheese to know what's going on.
It's not more separated. It's just
it's
comfortable.
not. It's more comfortable. But the thing is about the bleacher seating. It's all about that space. It's creating that space. It's creating
you want to be squeezed together?
Well, yeah. I mean,
you want to touch elbows for 3 hours?
It's family. It's family. We treat each other like family. We treat each other like we're all like our own.
I think not having fans in the stadium this year is what's really hurting the Seahawks defense. I think the Seahawks stadium, because you know how loud they are.
Yeah.
I think that was a big reason for Pete Carroll's defense's success because of the communication.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks fans get really loud when the opposing team's on offense. I think they are the loudest, but Seahawks are second.
Arrowhead's fucking loud.
No, I thought
Seahawks had the record.
Yeah, had the record.
And I think Arrowhead passed
didn't Arrowhead break some sort of record for sound
I
barrier
know
or something?
CenturyLink did, but I'm
Chiefs
pretty
fans
sure
are
Arrowhead passed them. But I think that's a big reason this Pete Carroll's defense has been so bad, because I think Pete Carroll has had that as a benefit.
I'd rather go to Arrowhead than Lambeau.
I think Pete Carroll has had that as a benefit to him for so long, where you kind of get the crowd loud and you get a
I would rather go. Actually, the Bills Stadiums doesn't really have much history to it. That's not too old.
I feel like he's just had that extra help kind of with his defense.
You said you would much rather go to Arrowhead?
Yeah, I would rather go to Arrowhead than Lambeau.
I don't know, man.
Yes.
Why? For what?
The fans, the energy in the stadium.
First of all, the fans.
I really like how that's.
I think what he's saying is experience
I also like how that
stadium that loud.
Designed. I also like how the stadium's designed too. How it's kind of in the middle. It's a bit farther back. You know, the
we
seats
get
go
loud.
farther back.
God damn, that Seahawks game that I went to was beautiful. Right at the very end of the game, it started to snow on Lambeau, and it was just a breathtaking.
I kind of really hope we get to see another Packers-Seahawks playoff game this year.
I do too, and I really want to fucking go to it though.
I don't want to see that because there's two possible outcomes. One, Seahawks killing the Packers and him coming up with excuses of why that happened, or two, the Packers win and then we have to hear it. So I don't want to see that happen. I don't.
Why?
Because we'll have to hear about you come up.
But
I would
like to talk I think that the
If the
Packers
Giants-
Seahawks is just as good as the conference rivalry back when the 49ers.
You know what I
Cowboys
really
were
want to
good.
see? I want to see
Yeah.
the Giants get in. I want to see us play Green Bay, and I want us to.
I would laugh really hard.
If you played that
You
Giants
wanna know
team,
what?
you would be
It's not looking
scared.
like that's going to happen.
Dude,
though.
that's scary that he said that. I had a dream last night that the Giants beat the Packers in the playoffs, and I was crying.
We would make
I think the
Aaron
only way
Rodgers look like a
As
baby
of right
back
now,
bitch.
As of right now, the Giants are lined up to play the Seahawks in the playoffs.
We'll
for the
beat
first
them again
round.
too with DJ.
I don't know.
We'll beat them.
I don't know if you'll be able to beat them twice.
We'll beat them twice.
And like I was the one saying last week, like I could see the Giants winning. I don't think you'll be able to beat the Seahawks twice.
If this Giants team continues on this hot streak into the playoffs at the perfect time, watch the fuck out.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I see the Giants having potential, but I just don't think they're.
I think
clicking.
DJ is going to come back with a.
I don't think their offense is clicking enough.
We get DJ back. Well,
If you had
3 weeks
Saquon,
ago.
I'd be a lot more worried, but
Gallman's been
He's been
playing
playing well the
pretty
last
well.
couple
He's been
weeks,
playing
yeah.
really well, Gallman.
but he's
He
not
did-
Saquon.
He's not Saquon, but you know what? He's still serviceable. If he's still putting up at least,
serviceable,
if he's
yeah.
still putting up at least 70 to 100 yards, and we're not always relying on the pass, I'm happy with that. Yeah, he's no Saquon, but
Yeah, but there's you take a lot more attention off of Daniel Jones if you have Saquon and then Wayne Gallman.
yeah, because you have to scheme around Saquon.
That's why I was saying I'd be a lot more worried if the Giants still had Saquon. But who knows? The Rams could end up losing a game, and the Seahawks could take back.
We also have to play in
First
apart injuries too. Who knows? Russell Wilson could tear an
Who else
ACL.
do the Rams have to play this season?
I think the Rams are going to win that division.
I think
Sorry.
so too, but I think they're the best team in the NFC. Them
And to
the
be
Packers
honest,
are
I think
most
the
well-rounded.
Cardinals are way better than 6 and 7. Way better than 6 and
Yeah,
7.
I'd say so too.
They could easily be at the top of that division. I think they might have. I think that to be honest, this might be a hot take, and you might disagree with me. You probably will, but I think all around that Cardinals team is a better team, an all around team than the Seahawks. Yes.
I think the Seahawks offense is better,
I think all around that.
and the
that team's
Cardinals
better.
defense isn't like special enough to make up for it.
All around though, I think.
I'd
the
say
Cardinals are
I
the
think
better
they're very close because I think Russell Wilson's obviously ahead of Kyler Murray. In terms of the run game, I'd say Kenyon Drake.
Could you imagine if you guys somehow got
Chris-
DeAndre on that team? If you had DeAndre, I'd be like, if you. That's how special.
Well, we're getting
DeAndre
Josh
is.
Gordon Hopkins or Josh
Gordon.
Josh Gordon
Yeah.
Hopkins, Josh Gordon back. Well, I'm excited to see that, but the thing is, he can't play until week 16. I think.
If you had DeAndre, then I would think you guys would probably go all the way.
yeah,
That's how special he is.
DeAndre's a very special receiver,
You
but
literally, they would have. DeAndre is the type of guy you got to put 2 people on him.
yeah, obviously.
He's the best wide receiver in the
That's
league. bar
That's
none.
why the Chiefs are so unfair.
The only person close to
because-
him is Julio.
because
Healthy.
at DK, I don't think's at the point where you have to really double cover him.
He's
all
gonna
the
get-
time.
he's gonna get to that
get
point.
there, but he still makes mistakes. He still has
Yeah.
a lot of drops.
Yeah.
He's costed Russell Wilson would be at 34 touchdowns right now. Remember the one where he just
Yeah.
stopped running, one, and then remember the other one a couple weeks ago where Russell Wilson literally hit him right
Yeah.
in the face.
Yeah.
Should have caught that too.
Yeah.
So I think DK has potential, but I think he still has room to grow. I still think he makes mistakes. He still drops passes.
He's gonna be he's gonna be a good.
But the thing is, with Tyreek Hill, his speed alone, you have to double cover him. Travis Kelce, you have to double cover. If you have to double cover 2 guys,
if Tyreek Hill didn't have that speed, he wouldn't be as good as he is.
no, but
You have
that's
to play
speed.
zone against
that-
Tyreek Hill.
That speed
He's just
is,
a deep,
yeah,
he's
you
a
do.
deep threat. That's all he is really. He's a deep threat.
He can do more, but he's gotten better.
That's
but,
his.
but
He's almost like
he-
Brandon Cooks. He's a deep threat player.
He's not only a deep threat player. He can do more. But as he's getting more experience in the league, he's becoming a better route runner and not just a deep threat. But no matter, like, when you have to double cover Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, that opens up so many opportunities. And like Tyler Lockett, I think is fantastic, but I don't think Tyler Lockett's at that level where you have to double cover him.
He's a good
I
second or
think
third
DK,
option.
there's certain situations where you have to double cover him.
DK's your first, right? He's your first.
What, number 1 receiver?
Number one, yeah.
And then Josh Gordon will take the third.
It would always help to have a player like Doug Baldwin still on the team. That would
You
help.
see, Doug Baldwin's kind of like Tyler Lockett. They were both fantastic route runners. They can make big catches, but like they're not like
They're not scary. You're not like we got to double up on this guy.
yeah, exactly. They're like they're functional receivers.
Slot runners.
I love both of them. I think they're both fantastic.
Good slot runners.
Especially Doug Baldwin being undrafted and
made a Pro Bowl or two. I think he made one Pro Bowl at least.
I think
Baldwin.
one. But I still don't think they're like that elite level.
They've never
I'd say Tyler Lockett this season and maybe last season have been more elite.
Russell has never had an elite target.
Since
Marshawn.
That's not an elite target though. That's a running back. If anything, that hurt Russell Wilson's stats because they ran the ball more than they threw it.
You can dump it off to Marshawn too, though.
Yeah, but that's not what he was known for.
He's never had even with DK, he's never had an elite target.
I'd say DK's on his way to becoming elite,
but he's not elite now.
I think a lot of people.
He's had good players. He's had Jimmy. He's had Jimmy Graham. He's had Doug Baldwin.
Jimmy Graham was not elite while Russell.
He wasn't elite.
I'm
saying good. I'm saying good.
Good. He was literally all he could do was red zone.
Jimmy Graham was the greatest when he was on the Saints.
He was very good on the Saints. Yeah, and then he had
look at what the Packers did with Graham. Nothing.
They did.
Russell Wilson was able to get Graham to a Pro Bowl, but that was literally just because Graham had 12 touchdowns that season. He literally had 400 yards the whole season, but 12.
He's on
touchdowns.
The Bears now.
Yeah.
He's jumping everywhere.
Yeah.
He's
not the Jimmy Graham you once knew, but when he was in his prime,
he was
dangerous.
Scary. I think Travis Kelce is on his way and very close to being a better tight end than Gronk.
The best tight end.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because Gronk's injury is what really hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
Or injuries, at least. He just couldn't stay healthy. Kelsey's been able to do it. And I think, is he about to have his 4th in a row 1,000-yard season or 5th in a row 1,000-yard season? Something like that.
Travis
and he's going to be one of
the...
What can I say, man? The Chiefs have great history with tight ends.
And that's
Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah. That's another thing, too, that I give Patrick Mahomes over other people. He has Andy Reid calling his plays for him. Andy Reid is probably the most.
Yeah, he's all right. He's not.
Andy Reid.
He's a really good coach.
He's a phenomenal coach. He's an offensive mastermind.
I used to hate the guy.
So didn't he get fired from the Philadelphia Eagles?
Those Eagles teams towards the end. I wouldn't really blame that on Reid. Those were some bad teams.
Yeah,
and I consider him above average.
The Dream Team. Oh my God,
Andy Reid.
I blame that more on the general manager.
And even then, Andy Reid was still a good coach with the Eagles. He still made the Eagles at least competitive.
People love to play for him. I think one of the biggest things about Andy Reid is the players love to play for him.
Yeah.
He's a lovable guy. I just hated him on the Eagles. He's lost some weight too.
I think he's above average.
No, he's a really good coach.
He's probably the top coach in the NFL right now, other than Bill Belichick, I'd say.
This is going to get him into the Hall of Fame, being with the Chiefs.
Oh, easily, yeah.
If it was just him with the Eagles, you can make the argument maybe he could be a Hall of Fame coach. Most likely not, but with this Chiefs team, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame coach.
I think so.
Yes, he's going to be first ballot.
I think so.
Not unanimous.
Even before, though, he was already a very, very good offensive coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that's still what he's an offensive mastermind. He is a genius.
I'm happy. I mean, he's had a tough road, too. Lost his kid to drugs. So I'm happy he's had success. I
like him.
I just hated him on the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's the Eagles.
But he seems like a really good guy.
Yeah.
But he's a really good coach. Probably the best coach. I would say top 3 coaches. Andy Reid. Top 3.
Active.
Andy Reid.
Active, you mean, right? Not all time?
Active.
Okay.
Andy Reid. When he's on his game, Pete Carroll.
No.
No?
No.
No?
I'm a Seahawks fan, and I say no.
Really? Yeah, you know what? Yeah. He's made some dumb decisions.
He makes dumb decisions. Him and John Schneider cannot draft well. DK Metcalf has literally been the only good draft pick since the 2013 draft class.
All right, so.
And then Pete Carroll's one thing that he's known for is defense, and look what happened. The Seahawks have not had a top 15 defense in 3 or 4 years.
He struggled his first couple of years too.
He's probably struggling with the whole stadium.
I would say also
it's probably
but it's not just this year. It's just that's why I think that's. But even then, that's not you being a good coach. That's you being lucky playing in a good stadium that helps you out with your defense.
Would you put him in the top 5?
Would you still say Sean Payne's top 3?
Yeah,
and I would say the coach from the Rams,
Sean McVay.
I would say they're top 3 coaches.
I would say
Sean McVay's a really good young coach.
He is. I'd say Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, Sean Payton.
I don't say Bill Belichick anymore now.
I'm not going to base it off of 1 year. Like change it.
I would still
based
say
off
he's
1
top
year. I still think he's a very
5
good coach.
maybe?
I still think he's a very good coach, but
I don't think it's all his fault, but
um
this is the problem. This is the problem with Belichick is the decisions he made with drafting and all that is now come to bite him on the ass.
yeah, and then the thing that annoys me about Belichick is like why, like for example in the Super Bowl, why did you bench
We'll never find out.
against the Eagles? Why did you bench Malcolm Butler?
We'll never find out. To be honest, I think it was rigged. Sit out Butler. That way the Eagles have an easier chance at winning the Super Bowl. You'll never prove me otherwise, but I just think that's the case.
I don't know what it was, but
really,
it
we'll
was just that.
we'll never
really,
know.
in my opinion, that really hurts his coaching. Like
That was a bad
legacy.
decision.
I think that's a huge.
I
blunder
bet you
on his
something-
It
resume.
hurts him
I bet you
a lot, though,
Yeah, because
with how many Super Bowl runs he has.
I think
That would've
I
been
don't
another
think it
Super
hurts him
Bowl.
a lot, but I think it's a big blunder on his resume.
If he
because
played,
his
they would've won.
defense, Bill Belichick is known for his defense. He's like Pete Carroll; they're both defensive-minded coaches, and Bill Belichick's defense that day gave up 500 yards to an Eagles offense run by Nick Foles.
And most of those yards were given up on the replacement that played for him.
Most of the receiving yards were given up on the replacement for Malcolm Butler. I think Bill Belichick was was the biggest reason the Patriots lost that.
He'll never come out and tell us, but I bet you Butler did something to piss him off. I bet you.
Because it wasn't injury, it wasn't illness.
He did something to piss Belichick off.
I'm sure, yeah. He was probably late to one meeting.
And he was like, you know what, fuck
I
this
understand.
guy. Fuck him.
I understand punishing your players.
But not at the Super Bowl.
You don't do that in the Super Bowl.
If I was Robert Kraft, I'd be furious.
I would have been too.
I'd be like, Belichick, what the fuck are you doing? They would have beat that Eagles team.
I'm sure Tom Brady was like holds the
I don't
record
know.
now.
Yeah,
Tom Brady
dude,
holds
if Butler played, he wouldn't have given up even half the amount of
No.
those yards.
I'm saying I don't think that Bill Belichick sat out Malcolm Butler for the reasons that you guys are
Yes.
So what do you think he sat him out for? Because Malcolm
I
Butler
don't
came
know.
out and said it was not illness and it was not injury, and he had no clue why Bill benched him.
He did something to piss him off.
Malcolm Butler said that.
Yeah.
Yes. He did something to piss him off. What else would have?
Yeah, there's like nothing
It
else.
could be.
really.
It could be.
And even if
It could be underperforming in practice. You don't know.
Maybe Malcolm Butler was getting too hot on his shit, starting to think he was really good, which he really was at the time. And maybe Belichick was like, "I'm going to take him down a peg, show him that we can win a Super Bowl without him."
No, but even
No.
say it wasn't that. Say Bill Belichick watched the tapes and was like, "I think this corner is going to be a better matchup than Malcolm is." Still coaching blunder because he still
That calls into question.
He still gave up
decision-making.
500 yards.
I think it's just.
500 total
I
yards
think
to a Philadelphia.
That
I'm not
hurts
saying-
his all-time status because they're like, yeah, he's a great coach, but in this instance,
It doesn't.
he made a really
for
bad
me, it
decision.
doesn't like hurt.
It hurts the all-time coach.
It just hurts his legacy for me. I think it's a huge blunder on his resume.
I think what hurts more for Bill Belichick is the fact that he's been in a division that really isn't that great, and
Until now,
and then
Even then, it's not that
and
great
then-
because you're pretty much playing like the old Bills or the old Browns every year, twice.
The
old how the Browns used to like be the laughing stock of the NFL.
Yeah.
The Jets have taken that place. So like,
Okay, well, yeah,
So
you- well,
even
yeah,
when
you-
when the Steelers and Ravens were good, I was always like, well, they still get to play the Browns twice a year. So I never really considered them that like.
and now that's the Jets.
Yeah, so like even like it's better than
Not the Dolphins and the Bills.
it's
Dolphins
better
and the
than
Bills
it
are the
has
real deal.
been, but it's still not like that.
That's
like
no
a
longer
super
the
tough.
Patriots division. No longer. That's the Bills or Dolphins division. More than likely, that's gonna
Oh,
be
yeah,
the Bills.
oh, yeah, well, yeah,
That's gonna
well,
be the
yeah.
Bills
Well, yeah.
division for a long time.
I think that blunder really hurts.
And I think that's good.
I think that blunder in the Eagles Super Bowl hurts Bill Belichick, and I also think that prior to Tom Brady, he had one winning record.
when was
He had a
and
winning
then-
record though with Matt Castle too.
Well, yeah,
But then again, all the weapons that were still on that team.
when
Yeah.
was the last time the Patriots had the hardest schedule,
I'm not sure. There's no way I'd know that.
They had when they were
or
on
even
their,
like,
even
or
tell
maybe
you
even
what
like
those-
top five where
Dude,
where
when they were-
like difficult set schedule.
probably not that difficult because when they were on their prime, those Bills teams, Dolphin teams, and Jets teams for the most part were really bad.
Yeah.
I feel like there was always one that played well though each season.
yeah,
Yeah, there was not each season. I
The
would
Jet-
say
I
that
would
there
say
was
that-
I
some
feel like there
seasons
was-
The Jets
where
for
there
3
was
seasons.
at least like a
when the Jets
Jets
would made those couple of championship runs.
Mark Sanchez.
I think that's when the Patriots
Yeah,
had
and
their
then there was
toughest time.
also times where the
Dolphins, Bills.
Dolphins made
Dolphins.
There wasn't-
that was
yeah,
a
but-
while ago.
Yeah.
A while ago. They would struggle against some of these teams. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, but the most recent were these Bills teams the
Yeah.
past couple of years,
Yeah.
and they still got blown out in some of those
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, I would say.
But now I think the Bills are at a point where they're at that next
They're
level.
the
taking
2010s would probably be Bills, and then like the late
Bills and Jets.
2000s.
Jets also had a few good
Yeah.
seasons. In
Middle of 2000, there were some decent Dolphins teams when they had that one good defensive player, Jason. He was bald.
Oh, I forgot what his name was.
Jason Taylor.
Jason Taylor, yeah.
Was it?
When Jason Taylor was on the team, those were some decent Dolphins
Okay.
teams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
when they that's around the time when I think Chad Pennington was the
Well, yeah,
quarterback
but like
for the
that's
Dolphins.
what that's what I'm saying though. I'm saying I feel like that's if anything that hurts Bill Belichick's
Well,
legacy
you can
even
say that.
more than
You
than
can
one
say that.
decision.
You
in
can
Super
say
Bowl.
making a blunder, because in my opinion, Russell Wilson's interception hurts his legacy.
But how many
and
of
that
those
was one
interceptions
play.
are off tipped hands
Mhm.
and stuff
And
like
that
that?
was one.
I'm talking about
It
in the
does.
Super
Oh,
Bowl
yeah,
against
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Patriots.
It
I think
does.
That hurts his
But
legacy.
do you think that hurts more than a Malcolm Butler decision? Because the thing is about the Malcolm Butler
I think-
decision is we still don't know what
I think
what,
the Butler
what
decision-
the background
But the thing
of that
is, we
story
know it
is.
wasn't injury and we know it wasn't illness.
I think the Butler decision
other
Could be
than that-
underperforming.
I think the Butler
Even if that was, he made the bad decision. He
I
should
think
have
the
still
Bu-
went with the hot hand.
I think the Butler decision's much worse because that was a call by the head coach while Russell was just doing what Pete Carroll drew him up to do.
What has Malcolm has Malcolm Butler been?
No, he's fallen off.
Well, yeah, like that's what I'm trying to say. It's like he had, like,
He was
has
still
he been,
better than that.
He was still good
He
at
was
that
still
time.
better.
I'm saying after that
You-
that Patriots.
Even if you take current day Malcolm Butler, he still would have been better than that backup.
That
corner they
backup
put
was
in.
bad.
And I think Bill
I think
Bel-
so,
I
too.
think the
I would be embarrassed.
I think that blunder was worse than what Russell Wilson's blunder. I think Russell's was bad, and I think it hurts his legacy.
Stephon Gilmore was actually a part of that team too.
What
That year?
was he?
Yeah, he was.
I don't think so.
No, I'm pretty sure he was.
I'm pretty sure we
I'm
talked
pretty-
about this, and it wasn't.
Just look up
But-
the 2018
but
Super Bowl roster.
The reason why is because Russell Wilson's was one play, and it was more so hitting off. Like it was more so a fantastic play by Malcolm Butler than it was a bad throw. If anything, I wish Russell threw it a little bit lower.
Russell
Not-
could
not-
have Russell
not
could
a-
have scrambled for the touchdown.
He could have.
He could have.
But
Maybe that goes on something with Russell's leadership because he could have easily called an audible.
Well, you have to remember when they were in that Super Bowl, he was only in his third season.
True, but he
So
he
it's
had a
not
lot
like-
of
it's
success
not
up
like-
there. He had a lot of success up. He wasn't the pure passer he was now though.
no, his passing's gotten a lot better.
A lot better. Back then he was like,
Yeah,
what,
Stephon Gilmore.
would he even throw 300-yard games that much back then? His first 3 years?
No, he was
More of like a 250
That's
type of
something
quarterback.
that hurts. That's something that a lot of people think hurts Russell's like all time.
He was never a
greatness
pure
because,
passer.
No, because his first like 3 or 4 seasons, people saw him
He was
as more of a
carried.
game manager.
He was carried by that fantastic defense.
I don't think he was carried though because he still had such incredible plays and big.
He was
moments.
carried to a degree. You had Marshawn Lynch in his
I
prime.
think he had a lot of help.
But now,
Now he has no help, and he's proven that he can still
Yeah.
be great, and he plays even better.
this Seahawks team is nowhere near what those Seahawks teams were.
No.
You got good players on defense, but you don't have the future Hall of Famers that all those players are going to be.
Maybe
On that dude, that defense is probably going to have at least 2 or 3 first
No,
ballot
more.
Hall of Famers.
I think Earl Thomas.
First ballot.
Earl Thomas, I think, hurt himself with like the controversy that happened this offseason, but I think he'll still be a Hall of Famer. He deserves it. He's
Am I still on
Sherman.
record?
Yeah.
Sherman's
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah,
a Hall of
there's
Famer.
Can't see the red.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Earl Thomas, I think, deserves the most credit out of everyone in that secondary because Earl Thomas was so athletic that they were able. Okay, so most teams play 2 safeties back, so that each one covers half the field. But the Seahawks used Cam Chancellor as a linebacker
He's
more
going to be a Hall
so.
of Famer, too.
Yeah, he will. But Earl Thomas's athleticism and being able to cover the whole back of the field on his own was what enabled Cam Chancellor to play the style of strong safety that he did.
So probably without Earl, maybe Cam Chancellor's not the player he is today. Or
I
was.
agree.
Yeah.
And I don't think I think Richard Sherman would have still had a good career, but I don't think Richard Sherman would have had as good of a career
think
either
Bob-
because I think Richard Sherman is lengthy but does not have a good fantastic speed. And also Richard Sherman plays a lot of press.
So there were times where he got beat, but he had Earl Thomas in the back kind of protecting him and allowing him to play that kind of aggressive style where the one season in 2012, I think it was, he led the NFL
So
with
those are
9
three people that are
interceptions.
going to be Hall of Famers. You think
Bobby Wagner's going to be a Hall of Famer.
first ballot, you think?
Probably. I don't know. Maybe not first ballot, but I think he'll be a Hall of Famer.
Because out of those four, I would say he's probably bottom tier. Out of those four.
I think with...
Not saying he's terrible. Obviously not. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. But if you had to put it, those four people... Most people would probably pick him as the last out of those four. But then again, they all play different positions, too.
I think in terms of talent, they're all very close to each other. Mm-hmm. But I think Richard Sherman will be the number one because I feel like he's just a lot more well-known than the other guys.
Over Thomas, really?
In terms of talent, I don't think he deserves it as much as Earl Thomas. I think Earl Thomas was the reason the Legion of Boom was able to be the Legion of Boom. But I think based on, I think a lot of it has to do with popularity as well. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people know Richard Sherman from his trash talking.
Yes.
Piece of shit.
I love him. Mm-hmm. I miss it so much. He's become so humble, which I respect too. Yeah. He matured, but I miss his trash talking. I remember after that Redskins game where RG3 tore, ended his career.
That's somebody I feel a lot worse for than Carson Wentz.
I feel really bad for RG3.
RG3, if RG3 stayed healthy, I think he could have been something really special.
I don't think he would have had long-term success though.
There were definitely black quarterbacks in the past that had his type of play set, but when RG3 came in, that was like the real start of that type of play set again.
No. What do you mean, like the running quarterback?
The running quarterback, scurry out of the pocket.
I'd say Russell Wilson had just as much to do with that.
But they came in at the same time too.
Yeah,
but I would say RG3 made it more popular.
I don't know. I think Russell Wilson.
Dude, RG3, I felt that year he played. Oh my God, he was so good.
Yeah, I would say RG3.
No,
would make Russell it more
Wilson
popular.
Russell Wilson, even in my opinion, had a better rookie season
That Redskins team. I wish they beat that Seahawks team. And oh my God,
that was a good game.
Kyle Shanahan, what a moron! He ruined RG3's career.
Yeah. Well, apparently, no, it wasn't Kyle. I thought it was Jay Gruden.
Oh, you are right, Jay Gruden.
Jay Gruden didn't like RG3. They didn't want him to draft. They didn't want the
He
Redskins
ruined his
to draft
fucking
RG3,
career.
So a lot of people think he did it intentionally. Just kept pushing it and pushing
it. That's one of those stories that if he stayed healthy, what if?
Yeah, who was it? A lot of people liked. He liked Kirk Cousins a lot, apparently. No, I think Russell Wilson had more to do with that style, the smaller quarterback at least too.
That's Seahawks Redskins.
I think that's where Russell's gonna really leave his legacy in the NFL because prior to Russell Wilson, the only knocks on Russell Wilson coming out of the going into the draft was his size. So I think Russell Wilson opened the door up for a lot of quarterbacks that wouldn't have gotten the opportunity.
He's been able to stay relatively healthy too.
Kyler Murray, yeah, exactly.
I just find it funny how Russell Wilson was not expected to be the starter.
Yeah, Matt Flynn was.
He got paid so much money too. Remember that contract Flynn got?
Yeah, and it was all because of how good that Packers team was. And because went in for one game for Aaron Rodgers
and threw 300, 400 yards or something.
It was like
teams got to watch out for that because Brock Osweiler.
Oh my God! How could you forget about Brock Osweiler?
He was bad. He was in that draft class too.
Bad's an understatement.
That
Terrible.
draft class could have gone down as one of the best.
Didn't he lose all that money too? Didn't they?
No, he got to make it.
Wait, down to the best? You think that quarterback draft?
I think that quarterback had potential to be the best. Because think about it. With Andrew Luck, say Andrew Luck had a full career. Andrew Luck was the best draft prospect since Dan Marino. Then you have Kirk Cousins, who's he plays.
He plays. He plays.
I mean, I feel like a lot of draft
Wasn't Nick Foles in that draft, too?
Yeah, Nick Foles was in that draft class.
Definitely some characters.
Ryan Tannehill was in that draft class.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill.
RG3, if RG3 stayed healthy, he'd probably still be an elite
Ryan Tannehill has shown promise in the past.
Ryan Tannehill was held back a lot by the
He really was.
Dolphins.
And you know what's crazy, too? He only played quarterback in... he was only played quarterback for a handful of years before he got.
Yeah, he was a
wide receiver. Yeah.
So to be able to go from wide receiver or play quarterback at a pretty decent level, that the guy's got talent.
No, yeah,
the guy's got talent.
But just imagine, say Andrew Luck didn't have injuries and played a full career, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then
still heartbroken about.
Yeah, he would have been. He's never going to be a Hall of Famer now.
Yeah, no, I don't.
No, he's not going to be a Hall of Famer.
No.
Yeah.
He'll be remembered as like
unless if he comes back as something else.
If he's gonna be a Hall of Famer, it's not gonna be first, second, or third ballot.
You think he might come back as a coach? I don't know. He seems like
a
person that
I feel like he's more so the type of person that's gonna move into the middle of nowhere and just look
ride off into the sunset, kind of like just keep to himself. Yeah. He doesn't look like that type of person to like lead a team.
You don't think?
And I couldn't see him doing like sports broadcasting or anything. He has a terrible voice.
He's got a really funny looking face.
He's smart though. He could come back as like a quarterback coach. I feel like
maybe. I just don't see him wanting.
If he came out of retirement and had a great season, he would be. You think Alex Smith should be renamed? Some people say the comeback player of the year should be named after Alex Smith. If he came out of retirement 2 or 3 years down the line and put up 4,000 yards, it's the Andrew Luck Award at that point. Yes,
no one's gonna be able to beat Alex Smith. Alex Smith like almost died from that injury.
Yeah, that was a bad injury. And he might make the playoffs too. Good for him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be bummed out. If the Giants didn't make it and the Washington football team made, I'd be like, you know what? Good for Alex Smith.
Yeah,
good for him. He's a good guy.
Case Keenum was in that draft class too.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Yeah, that could have been such a good draft class.
Could have been.
I mean, even if
so many of those. You want to know what's funny?
For like the last.
But the 2006 had like.
Can I just say one quick thing?
Like franchise.
Want to hear something funny?
Was it 2006 or 2004?
2004.
Eli's was 2004.
That's Eli Ben and River.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you had Andrew Luck, RG3, Russell Wilson, Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins, like all those guys, like that would have been 5 franchise quarterbacks because I don't think Kirk Cousins is that good, but a lot of people see him as the future of a franchise. And
you know what draft class is going to be looked at really favorably, I think, this past one in 2020.
In terms of receivers, yeah.
No, in terms of quarterbacks. Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, and why am I forgetting his name?
I don't know if anybody really thought of those guys really.
No, this is going to be. I think this draft class, these 3 QBs, Tua Tagovailoa.
I mean, yeah, they could.
Justin Herbert,
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. I think they're going to be looked at as that 04 class. I feel like.
I don't know. It's off to. I don't see Tua being a long-time NFL starter. I don't know why. I think he's a nice kid, but I think he has an injury problem. Joe Burrow's going to have to come back. I could
see Tua being like another Russell.
I don't know. Just from
maybe even better. He's got more talent than Russell.
No.
Don't say that to me.
Pure talent?
No. How does he tell me in what aspects does he have more talent?
I would say pure talent in the sense when he was coming up through school, more was expected of him.
No, he played on a fantastic team.
He did play on a fantastic Alabama team, but he came in. Dude, you know what made him at Alabama, though? He came in at half or like the third or fourth quarter against a dominant Georgia team with no preparation.
And Nick Foles led the Eagles to a Super Bowl. Do you think if Nick Foles...
Yeah, but Nick Foles was also on an Arizona Wildcats team with not much expected of him. There's a lot expected of Tua.
Yeah, Russell Wilson won first team all.
Tua was a 5-star recruit out of Hawaii. What was Russell? 3?
Yeah,
maybe
but
4?
this is all college.
But I'm saying, I'm talking pure talent. I'm talking pure talent.
Like Tua came in at halftime, but Tua also got taken out at halftime in another national championship.
Yes. When he was injured, when he was playing injured, which he probably even shouldn't have been playing.
You can say Tua had like all this expectations of him. Alabama's a run-heavy team.
It was a run. And recent years, it's been a pretty pass-heavy as well. From Tua, even before that, with A.J. McCarron, he was a pretty pass-heavy guy.
Yeah, but
Tua, Mac Jones now.
The Alabama's a run-heavy team. It has a fantastic defense. There's no way Tua, as of right now, is more talented than Russell Wilson.
I'm not saying right now. I'm saying...
I think Russell Wilson has better health, so he has a better body.
I'm saying I think coming up through the school, if you put them coming out of college, in comparison to the two, there's more pure talent on Tua. And if he's able to hone that and stay healthy, I feel like he could do Russell Wilson better than what Russell Wilson does.
Replace Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson. Put Kyler Murray in the 2012 draft class and say somehow Russell Wilson was getting drafted with Tua. So, like, say the NFL's already accepting shorter quarterbacks and are like, wow, we want to draft him. Russell Wilson coming out of college gets taken before Tua. Without a doubt.
When I look at Tua, I really see Russell Wilson in him. I really do. They have similar play sets. They can both scramble. Maybe not can scramble as well as Russell, but they can scramble and they can sit back in the pocket and pass.
Yeah, but I feel like Tua's been very inconsistent, whereas Russell Wilson his whole career has been consistent.
I would have to agree with you. I was thinking about it in the way of like how big the colleges were, like Alabama. But the thing is about Alabama quarterbacks, like there really isn't anything great about them.
Yeah.
What do you?
But like,
what good Alabama quarterback has there been? Broadway Joe,
and
that's about it.
Kenny Stapler, the snake.
Okay,
but we're talking like that. Okay, those are totally different generations.
We're
By the way, Kenny Stapler should be in the Hall of Fame. It's bullshit that
what
he's
about
not.
2000s? When has Alabama produced a good quarterback?
2000s. No.
Yeah, and like the thing I think is,
but you know what, Mac Jones is going to be something special.
I feel like Alabama quarterbacks are very similar to Ohio State quarterbacks. How they look really good in college, but it's because they have so much help around them. No.
You're comparing us to Braxton Miller and all those. Braxton Miller, the big fat that came in. Well, I'm not talking about Braxton Miller being the fat, but JT Barrett and that one fat. Who was that fat that came in?
Wait, who?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Wait.
Remember, they had JT, they had Braxton, they were all injured, and Cardell Jones. You're gonna compare what Alabama's had with McCarron and all them to those?
What has McCarron done? Neither.
McCarron's at least a serviceable backup. I wouldn't even.
Cincinnati loves him. Cincinnati loves AJ McCarron.
I don't care.
More serviceable than any of those three.
I don't know. I just don't. If I was an NFL scout, I wouldn't.
Braxton Miller didn't stop playing quarterback and move to wide receiver.
Yeah, I know. I'm not but I'm saying it's the same thing. Like they do well in college, quarterbacks from Ohio State and quarterbacks from Alabama, but then they do not.
The biggest problem with Tua is if he can stay healthy. If Tua could stay healthy, he's going to be something special.
Tua has very big injury problems, and he's very inconsistent.
I don't know if he can handle. Like I don't. If you give Tua the 8 years experience, I don't think he would be able to handle what Russell's handling right now. I don't.
We'll see.
Imagine Tua getting sacked. Imagine Tua getting sacked 40 times through 13 weeks.
Yeah, no.
He'd be broken.
Yeah.
Well, that has to also come back to if he could stay healthy.
Well, yeah, but that plays a huge role.
Does he even wear like protection like Russ does?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. That plays a huge role though, and on top of that, I say again, Tua is very inconsistent. He makes fantastic throws, and then literally 2 throws later, he'll be so far off.
He did have that problem in college, yes. Yeah. But I wouldn't say that national championship game was all his fault. He was not playing healthy. There were some really, really bad decisions in that game, but they all don't fall on him. I think they try to convert it. I think they try to convert against Clemson, like 3 or 4 fourth downs, and all failed each time. That doesn't all fall on Tua. That falls on the coaching too.
No, I agree. But my thing too is like you make the excuse for him that he was playing injured. Injury hurts a quarterback's my view of a quarterback. If Aaron Rodgers has missed a bunch of games, that's in a bunch of different seasons. That really hurts his legacy for me. I think being able to stay healthy and be there for your team says a lot. So I don't take he's playing injured as an excuse.
Yeah, but some freak shit.
I think that says. I think that says something about his character, though. He's playing injured, but at least he wants to be out there with his team in the biggest game.
Most people want to be in that game, but. That still hurts.
Or you'd be like a Cam Newton where you don't even dive for the fumble.
I mean, it still hurts his, at least college legacy for me because...
He's still going to go down as a fantastic college quarterback.
He's going to go down for that one moment.
Not even that one moment. Look at the Look at the seasons he had, though.
No, I know, but no one's
going to remember that. He put up passing records.
No one's going to remember that.
You think they're all just going to remember that Clemson national championship?
I think that's what he's going to be known for college.
How they got blown out.
I think quarterbacks I think no the one where he came in, he's going to be remembered for the one where he came in and led.
I think he'll be remembered for that a lot, but I also think he'll be remembered for how great of seasons he had. For those 2 years.
He wasn't able to finish most of them, though.
Yeah.
Or either of them. He missed games.
Both. Yeah. Of course, he had that health concern, but he was. You cannot.
And then he ended up not being clutch. Like, he was clutch in that first game where he just got thrown in there, but then after
Which
that,
you would expect him not to be clutch.
yeah.
That was amazing. That
I mean, I feel like at that point when you're
That-
down,
okay,
I
will-
feel like there's a lot less pressure on you. You're like, okay, I'm just going out here.
I will
and
agree
doing
with
my
I
stuff.
will agree with you at one point. It's almost like he peaked at that moment.
Yeah.
In
And
a
that's
regard,
exactly
but
what
he
I
still
see.
was fantastic. He still put up
was.
passing yards. But I will say,
Did he have
in
Derrick
a
Henry in
sense-
one of those years too, or no?
I don't think so.
No.
but
Oh,
he's
okay.
he still has had Najee Harris and all these other players. Najee's going to be a first rounder. You've
Yeah.
seen Najee Harris play; he's really good. And whoever gets Devontae Smith, watch out.
Yeah, I don't think Tua is.
But I will say-
comparable to Russell. I would draft Russell Wilson coming out of college over Tua.
I will
without
say
doubt.
too.
mainly like solely alone just on injury.
I will say, devil advocates too. Alabama's never had a lack of talent when it comes to wide receivers.
Exactly.
They've had some of the best of the best.
Exactly.
But I don't think that you can take that so much away from Tua as well, though, because
I'm not taking it away from him. I'm just comparing the two. Russell
I will-
Wilson
I-
played at a very high level in college
but
without that extra help,
even
and
though
without
he
being on
even
an
though he
Alabama
put up
super team.
4,000 passing yard seasons and broke multiple passing records, I will agree to a strong degree. I wouldn't say all of it, but like 80% he did peak in that Georgia game.
Yeah, I think he peaked.
And
So with all that being said, that was a pretty crazy topic. What we at? Oh damn, an hour and 41. I haven't really been keeping up with like the plans for college football. What are they planning on doing for COVID? Do you guys
They're
know?
still-
I think they're
trying
going
to
to play
finish
at
the
one
season.
state. No, I don't think they're going to play at one stadium. They're going to finish the season and they're just going to play at whatever stadiums
Yeah,
they
it's
have
just
for the
like every
games.
now and then teams have like upticks in like positive cases.
And of course, once bowl season comes around, you're going to see a lot of players sitting out, not even for COVID, just because of the draft. And probably more because of COVID, too. I feel like you're probably going to have not for the national championship games, but even for like the top
That's
6
what
bowl
really
games.
bothers me
It really
about-
fucking sucks.
That's what that's it. I feel like that's it every year though. It bothers me like seeing that's what bothers me about college football compared to the NFL because one, I don't think the playoffs are fun in college football.
I think it's fun.
I wish there was more teams.
I wish they should
wish there
really
was,
expand it
yes.
to 8 teams.
I wish
Yes,
there was more
yes.
teams.
Yes.
But I'm surprised they haven't done it by now. I mean, it's been 6 years since they implemented it, and we're still not at 8 teams. We're only at 4.
I know.
Yeah.
I think college
That's
football.
pretty fucking
I think
lame.
college football would be a lot more enjoyable if there was a bigger playoff field.
But then again, if you
And
look at
then-
it too, though, the SEC.
It gives recruits more
If you want-
more to look at too.
If you want to look at it this way too, you can almost, depending on the situation, look at the conference championship game as the real first playoff game.
Yeah.
Sort of, depending on what team you're going up against and the standing
But
that
that's
team
the
has.
thing that sucks too, because say you're a UCF fan, and UCF went what 2 or 3 seasons
they
undefeated.
had no strength of schedule though.
That's the thing that sucks about college football because like that's out of their control. Yet you like no matter what they do, they could go 16-0 for 2 straight
And they, look,
seasons.
they
Or
good.
not
They
16,
beat
or whatever
Auburn.
it
They
is.
beat
Yeah.
Auburn.
Yeah, but it didn't even matter because
And Auburn didn't even try. I think
Exactly.
That's what sucks about college
because Auburn was like, "We're playing UCF,"
yeah,
and
they're
UCF is
and
like,
most
"We're
of the-
playing Auburn."
Yeah, and most of Auburn's players were like, "Okay, I'm just gonna sit out this game."
It's
It means
bullshit.
nothing. And that's what sucks about college football. It's so tough. To
And that
get
Auburn
into-
game was still close. They still could have beat them.
Yeah, I know. But that's what sucks. So like
That's the whole thing with.
So like, there's teams that can go like undefeated.
I think BYU right now is in that situation.
Yeah,
I
and
think
then,
they're
undefeated.
Yeah,
if they
and
win
Texas-
out, I think they only have if BYU wins out, I think they only have a 47% chance of making it in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which they wouldn't make it in.
And Texas
Would you-
A&M
look at it this
is
way.
like Texas A&M is 10-1, and Ohio State's going to make it over him
look
with
at it this-
with a 6-0 record.
Look at it this way too. I hate to play kind of cynical like this, but if you're the playoff committee and you care about national ratings for these games, are you really gonna put UCF or BYU in there? You know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a blowout.
No, I get it.
It
but
sucks.
That's just
The
what's,
system
like,
is rigged
boring.
against them.
I know, but that's what's boring about.
It sucks though. No one wants to watch a BYU Ohio State matchup.
I would have watched.
It sucks.
I would have watched the hell out of UCF in the.
They could have been a Cinderella team, maybe, but
Anything can happen. In football.
I would say that since like this like year is already like all sorts of fucked up, they should just implement that like they should already like use that formula right now for like this
What
year.
formula?
They
For like the 8 teams since this this year is like already.
Yeah,
like,
but they probably don't want to do that because that's more.
Yeah, it's more games and
more
everything,
games,
and yeah,
It's going to happen sooner rather than later. Hopefully within the
I'd
next
like
few
to
years.
see it.
I think that would help, like, pique my interest
Yes,
in
it
college
will.
football more.
Yeah. For me too.
But like as of right now, it's just like, and like if your team, and the thing that sucks too about college football, as soon as Texas lost to TCU this year,
Your season's gone.
season's done. I lose interest.
Yeah, if you could have an 8-2 record and
You're not
only
making
get
it.
you can make it into not even a New Year's 6 bowl game.
Yeah.
You'll get like the Big Daddy Taco Bell Hold 'em Suck 'em bowl game.
Yeah, and then half the starters
against Virginia Tech.
and then half the starting players sit out during those games. So
You
they're
ready
doing
for the
absolutely nothing.
Mac Daddy's Pizzeria bowl game? You ready for Just Desserts, Cold Stone Creamery's Big Bad Beluga Bad Showdown at Hackettstown High School football field? No. You know what? I think a lot of these bowl games are fucking meaningless.
Yeah, they are.
Like the GoDaddy Bowl or the Papa John's Bowl or the Little Caesars Bowl. They should really cut it down. They should only have the New Year's 6 bowls, in my opinion.
They're all so random.
Even the New Year's 6 bowls with the playoffs don't mean shit.
No,
You're really
they
happy
do.
that you won the Rose Bowl when you're
Yeah.
not even in the playoffs? That doesn't mean shit.
Like Texas beat Georgia that one year in the.
They don't mean shit.
It doesn't mean anything.
You think Georgia cares that they lost in the Rose Bowl?
No, they don't give a
They
shit.
care more that they lost in the national championship game against Bama to a true freshman quarterback that came off the fucking bench.
Yeah. I don't know. College football just.
The NCAA.
I like watching
can I-
Texas games because Texas
The
is just an exciting team to watch.
Can-
but like,
Can I tell you this too? The NCAA is fucking corrupt.
I'm sure.
No, probably more corrupt than the NFL. They are a terrible organization.
What makes them corrupt?
What makes them corrupt?
In your opinion, yeah.
Just real scummy people. I mean, you see some.
He
What
doesn't
like
even know.
what
He
like
doesn't
the
even know. He
exact
probably heard.
what
from
the
his-
officials and
He
things?
honestly probably heard from his dad. He probably heard his dad
No.
say like, "Oh, I hate the NCAA. They're corrupt." And Scott like was like, "Yeah, they are." And now he said it and was
Like
like,
what are you talking about? Like having players getting paid and things like
No,
that? Are you-
I just the player getting paid thing. There's two sides to that
Oh,
argument.
okay.
But I think it's just some of these bans and some of these things they do to these schools.
Mhm.
Like for obviously you're put in situations where you got what's that word?
Do you think that like the NCAA is like corrupt in the way that they are also dealing with college, which is, in your opinion, is a scam? Which was my,
it's all
which is my
scam.
opinion is a scam.
I just think
too,
I just think they, with some of these scandals that some of these teams have gone for, they put on some really
Okay.
heavy bans.
Okay.
And
okay.
even for small
like,
petty shit, they put
Yeah,
on
like the
some
scandal point.
some
Okay.
really heavy suspensions.
So with the Urban Meyer, would you say that was like that ban was okay?
I
Right,
hate
what,
Ur-
like,
I
what,
hate I hate Urban Meyer. So anything against him, I'll agree with.
See, I think that was stupid.
Urban Meyer is a piece of shit.
The NFL's just as bad with like being so.
I think
Dude, Golden Tate went to got
Yeah, that was
prescribed
bullshit. That was
medicine
bullshit.
by
That was
his
bullshit.
doctor to
Roger
to
Goodell's an
help
asshole.
him. Yeah, to help him like get his wife.
How do they
pregnant.
not have exceptions in that drug ruling?
And he literally like took one pill and then like found out it was on the
And he also
like,
told
banned
them.
substance thing. He
Wow.
went straight to the Giants and was like, "I accidentally took this. My doctor prescribed it. I just realized it's on. I only took it once.
Uh-huh.
Got suspended 6 games."
They should really have something in the drug protocol, like a little like some sort of exceptions to the rules. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you got prescribed this? Okay, we won't suspend you for 4 games. Because
Either
what
that or,
difference
like,
is that going to make?
I
Either
just thought of a good podcast topic. We talk about like those suspensions and things like that, and see if we agree with those suspensions. So like we get like a list of
Yeah,
suspensions.
There's a
yeah.
lot of
That'd be
suspensions
cool.
I don't agree
And then
with.
Jerron Reed, I think last year, he literally was like, he got accused of like
Make note of that.
assault or something,
How about
on,
even
and
a
then he got proven not guilty,
How about
and
even
yet
a-
Roger Goodell still suspended him.
How about even a couple years ago with, oh my God, how am I forgetting his name? That small-ass wide receiver.
Wes Welker?
No, not him. Julian
Julian
Edelman.
Edelman?
That was a bullshit suspension, too.
What did he do? I don't remember. I
I'm
think
pretty
he
sure he got
actually
some-
took,
Oh, yeah,
he actually
for,
took
for-
PDEs.
yeah.
though.
Oh, he did
Yeah.
actually take
Yeah, it
PDs?
was. I think
Yeah.
it was like a valid one.
Yeah.
But there's been some really bad... Tom Brady and the Deflategate.
Okay.
That was
4-game
stupid.
suspension.
Yeah, that was
do we really
stupid.
need to go there?
No,
Might
that
as
was
well.
stupid.
4-game
No,
suspension?
I am not going much longer. It's been 2
That'd be
hours.
like another hour, probably.
Yeah.
But that was a stupid suspension.
All right. Well, we will talk about that in a different podcast. That's a very interesting topic.
We already
I
talked
think.
about that.
What? No.
But other
I'm
suspensions.
talking about like suspensions.
I'll tell you one
bans
suspension.
and things
Bounty
like that.
Gate. That was a suspension I agree with.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's say that for another topic.
Oh, you know something else that hurts Bill Belichick's
What?
legacy? The cheating.
No.
How he
Yeah.
got caught
Yeah.
taping the Jets. That's something else.
Yeah.
How many teams you actually think probably do the
I
same?
think all of
All
them.
right, just weren't dumb
Let's not
enough
talk
to-
about this. Talk about a different podcast because we got to go.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
No, I know.
Adios.
No, I got to talk about what the plan
All right,
is.
see you next
for-
episode. Bye.
For
Bye.
next episode. All right. Well, they're gonna leave. I'm not ending the episode, but how we're gonna do things now because we can't have the podcast here.
Just till mid-January. This is just till mid.
You know, putting on the headphones doesn't mean that you are really saying anything. You have to go down to the mic.
I understand that, but this is just till mid-January, correct?
Oh yeah, just until mid-January because with the whole.
This is gonna hurt
COVID.
our ratings, kid. But make it early January.
Oh
Make it early
shit! Okay,
January.
everything's just falling apart. But no, we're gonna try our best to produce more content
You might wanna put this
while
on-
that time using Zoom, and also I'm planning on having my roommates be a part of the podcast too. So with that being said, have a great night, everybody. Hope to see you soon. Bye.